Hello, hello. It's like 90 degrees here in sunny Florida with a real feel of 101, if you can believe it. So, folks, stay hydrated out there. It's all I'm saying. Welcome, welcome. Today is number 5. Today is lesson number 5. Big shout out to all my friends out there, especially down there in Brazil, the home base for NGO Radio Terra, with whom I so proudly and humbly share this moment with you. Because of them and their awesome concept of bringing free, high-level lessons for all levels, though, and all ages, all around the world via streaming platforms is brilliant, and I can't thank them enough for having me here. So let's get into it. Today I wanted to revisit the protocol that I take for learning new rhythms, learning songs, and kind of just go over how to practice slow, how to practice with a click, how to take the information which I'm going to share with you is a groove by Prince and Morris Day and the Time. And I spoke about it last week, and on the curriculum it says that today we are going to review the idea of how to practice, how to learn songs, and I'm going to use that example of 777, excuse me, 9311. This is a little bit better. We're going to go through 777, 9311, and I'm going to show you and share with you some of my methods for practicing slow, how to play with a click, and we're going to get right into it. I did do last week's lesson from the perspective of memory, right? How I remembered 777, 9311 by Morris Day and the Time. Drums played by Prince on the original recording. Was from the lens of a double stroke roll perspective. So versus the single roll perspective. Roughly the same variation, the same rhythmic scheme, and I'm going to apply that to the backbeat now. But Jelly Bean, the drummer for Morris Day and the Time, he did the latter version. He used just single strokes, and I'm going to show you what the difference is, and that's going to bring me into another conversation about rudiments and how I treat rudiments and why they're important, why they're fun. All right, so without further ado, lesson 5. 777, 9311, the groove breakdown. Fast and slow. And then double stroke and single stroke. Okay, so that's more or less, that's not as fast as the Time played it live. When the Time played it live, they played it like... it's cooking. I gotta work on that tempo that fast. But so that's double strokes. Let me show you what Jelly Bean does though. Here you go. Okay, so this is a perfect time to share with you my process. So I can't play it that fast, right? So I got to slow it down, and I got to put it at a tempo where I know I can really grasp what this beat really is cleanly, right? And I know I could approach it from the double stroke perspective or the single stroke perspective. I think the single stroke perspective is closer to the way the time did it. So I'm going to slow it down even further from that moment, because this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary peoples, when you slow it so far down to where you can actually grasp it, and then it really sticks in your brain. But it doesn't really stick in your brain and thus in your muscle memory until you slow it down enough. Some people can play it fast the whole time. I am not always those people. So here I am at a slower tempo with single strokes. All right, now I'm going to throw this clap in on this side here. On this SPDS pad right here, I'm going to put a clap on 2 and 4. So this makes the beat even more challenging. So in this case, I'm going to slow it down even further so that I can demonstrate that at this tempo, it's too hard for me to play that fast. So I got to slow it down even further and try it again. All right, so we're going to slow it down and we're going to add the clap. And then we're going to work our way back up. All right, it's coming together. Let's speed it up a little bit. All right, so now I see where my trouble spot is. So there's a part on the end of the phrase. That. So now I'm isolating my problem part, okay? And this is one of the most important things, in addition to slowing the beat down, is identifying your problem part and then just looping that. So I'm gonna start from the top of the groove so I can give you context, and it's easier for me. So in addition to that being kind of a weird sticking, it's also a long distance for me to get to the clap sound. And it's not a circular cat pad or like a RD7. It is a square, and it's a little smaller, so you have to be really accurate. So that's why I'm breaking it down, slowing it down, and looping it. That's another one. That's another isolated spot that I need to work on. I got to practice more. My chops are trash today. But I do feel like I am conveying the idea because I need to practice this groove more, and I need to practice more in general. And how you get better is by breaking things down, slowing them down, and looping them. All right, let me speed this up a little bit, and I'm just going to play. I'm going to try and identify a moment that I need to practice, and then I'm going to isolate that and loop it. All right. So, I was just thinking this, that after last week's lesson, I went and I checked out a bunch of videos of Prince playing it and Morris Day, Jelly Bean from Morris Day and the Time doing it. And I think that I even saw some clips of Prince playing this groove with the double stroke way. But I saw that Jelly Bean did it the single stroke way, and it sounds crispier. No diss to Prince, because, bless the dead, he is the greatest. But Morris Day could play drums too, and so could Jelly Bean. So I like the way Jelly Bean did it the most. What I noticed, though, is that the clap part was done by a guy who just played the clap. Jelly Bean didn't play the clap in addition to these other parts, because these other parts are busy. So I want you guys to know that the clap is extra credit. I'm gonna continue to throw it in here because it's a challenge. But yeah, the clap is extra credit. Jelly Bean just played this. got to have fun with it, you guys. When you're practicing, I always do this. Whenever I put about 20 minutes worth of super thought into, like I am right now, breaking it down, looping it, isolating parts, isolating problematic parts, and really working it out, I always give myself like at least 2 or 3 minutes of just play time. One thing that one of my greatest drum teachers taught me, that you should never force yourself to only do stressful or straining focus for, you should never focus for too long without having a little fun with the drums. And I really second that motion. I really feel like it's important to make sure that while you're learning and while you're absorbing, you take some time to walk away from what you're learning, and it absorbs into you in your sleep. It absorbs into you when you're subconsciously thinking about it while doing something else. The information will land on you. Trust and believe that. Don't let frustration get the best of you. So this is 12 BPM. The song is 120 and faster. So let's keep on jacking the tempo up, and I'm going to keep on showing you how I'm challenging myself to perform this in front of the live audience. You know, there's no takes. We can't go back. So if you suck, you suck. But you got to get back on the horse. You got to get back on the throne, and you got to make it happen. So let's do it. Okay. So I'm going to take it up a notch. All right, we're back at 120. This is close to the original tempo. But I am going to isolate a part. So right here, I'm isolating that I'm doing this fast 30-second note single stroke roll while I'm doing a double with my feet. that's a workout. I'm going to keep pumping it up, though, just for the sake of entertainment. We're going to see how fast we can take this, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary peoples. Let's do this. And listen, this is a part of the exploration. This is a part of the fun. We're not taking ourselves too seriously. I am far past the point in my career when I'm super self-conscious about making a mistake in front of others. You know, I always strive to be the most perfect sense of myself. Preparation and purpose really accounts for most of that. But sometimes people make a mistake. I've seen the greatest musicians walking the earth make a mistake in front of me live, and I know that they didn't think twice about what I thought about them. So I am not going to think twice about my mistakes in front of you guys, because it's all part of the teachable moment. It's all part of showing you my process. I have chosen a really, really challenging groove, and that is to, just keep myself engaged, show you guys how I learn stuff that is at the level that I'm at and beyond. So I'm going to keep pumping up the BPM. Let's turn the tempo up. Let's keep going, YouTube. So I do want to include you in on what I'm doing right now. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm listening to the new tempo, understanding that it's probably faster than I can play for a long period of time comfortably, but knowing that I need to figure out how to get this beat in my body, how to get this BPM in my body, and how to hear this groove that I've been playing at this speed, not at the last speed, which is 5 BPM lower than this. So now I'm 5 BPM, I'm at 130. Let's check it out. Let me engulf the beat, imbibe the beat, ingrain the beat. Now I'm thinking I'm going to have to use a combination of the, I think I'm going to have to use a combination of the double and the single. So, double and then single. So. So I have to play a 7-stroke roll in my right hand. beat is such a workout. I love this so much. I am just so happy. I love playing drums. This is one of the most satisfying feelings because this is an aerobic workout. This is an aerobic feeling. This is getting my blood flowing. I'm sweating. It's a fantastic groove. Listen, what I'm doing right now is I'm combining the single stroke roll with the double stroke roll in this groove because the tempo is so great. In order for me to play the first part of the rhythm, I have to implore the double stroke roll. In order to implore the second half of this beat or rhythm, I have to implore the single stroke roll. Because the distance that it takes for me to get from the hi-hat to this pad over here requires the bigger muscles in my arm. So that's why using a single stroke roll, that'll fire up the bigger muscles because it takes bigger muscles, takes the more dominant muscles in your forearm and your hand to do a single stroke roll in the first place. Then it does a double stroke roll, which requires finer muscles, smaller muscles. So, that's really how I'm thinking. Is I'm thinking about my body, I'm thinking about my structure, and I'm thinking about my posture, and I'm thinking about accuracy, and I'm thinking about my feet. There's feet here too, y'all, and I just want to remind everybody that drums are not just arms, they're also legs. But since we're on the subject of rudiments, we have not addressed them yet. So let me go ahead and just talk quickly about that as it pertains to them on a snare drum, so you can hear what a single stroke roll sounds like. Single stroke roll, faster. Faster. Double stroke roll. Faster. double stroke roll and the single stroke roll. Double, single. The single has that power. So let's check out 777-9311 real quick and just show you again the difference between the single version and the double version. Single. Double. All right, and here's a combination. I'm going to do double in the beginning of the groove, single at the end. Y'all pooped me out today. I love it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging with me. I'm going to be hanging out more if I have time. Today I had the time. I love to play, and play is what I love to do. Come back for me next time. Lesson number 6 here at NGO Radio Terra. My name is E-Cussionist, a.k.a. Matt Vorzimer. And today we went over how to practice. We went over how to slow down the beats that you're learning from fast tempos to slow tempos. Take problematic parts, isolate them, and loop them. And then speed it back up. Take it through all the tempos you want. And then push yourself. Don't forget to have some fun after you spend about 20-30 minutes of hyper focus. Don't forget to make practice time fun so that you want to continue to keep coming back to practice. Don't forget to check out the single stroke roll and the double stroke roll. And again, don't forget to have fun. Yours truly, one love, E-Cussionist out. See you next Wednesday.